A hiker found and returned an ancient wallet. Halfway up a glacier in the Andes, hiker Ricardo Peña found a wallet. It belonged to an Uruguayan rugby player who had been in a 1972 plane crash in which all but 16 passengers died. As it turned out, the wallet belonged to one of the survivors. Peña tracked him down and returned the wallet, more than 3 decades after its loss. Did you know that the IKEA catalogue is the most widely printed book in history? With more than 200 million copies in circulation every year, the IKEA catalogue surpasses the Bible, the Quran, and the Harry Potter series to earn the title of the world's most printed book. The annual catalogues are usually around 350 pages and vary in each of the 72 regions in which it's distributed. For example, catalogues in Saudi Arabia only feature men in their photos. Did you know that someone tried to sell New Zealand on eBay but was stopped once the bid reached $3,000? There's an ongoing rivalry between Australia and New Zealand, but in 2006, one Australian man came very close to winning. In May 2006, he opened a bid on the e-commerce platform for the country of New Zealand. Bids started at 1 cent. Bidding prices climbed all the way to $3,000 before eBay officials shut it down, adding, "Clearly New Zealand is not for sale." Still, New Zealand was salty about the prank. The country's foreign minister at the time even called it nonsensical stupidity. Meanwhile, if you die alone in the Netherlands, someone will write you a poem and recite it at your funeral. For those lonely folk who pass away with no next of kin and no one to claim them at death, there will be at least one person at their funeral, a poet. In response to these so-called lonely funerals, the country implemented the ritual of lonely funeral poems, in which poets research the deceased, write a poem in their honor, and recite it at the funeral. What started as a small project in Amsterdam has now grown into a countrywide competition. Did you know that in 2016, a Florida man was charged with assault after throwing a live alligator through a drive-through window? In perhaps the most Floridian attack ever, the deadly weapon of choice was an alligator. As 24-year-old Joshua James was being handed his drink at a Wendy's drive-through, he tossed a live 3.5-foot alligator at the attendant for absolutely no reason at all. As a result, he was charged with assault with a deadly weapon, possession of an alligator, and petty theft. He was also banned from all Wendy's fast food restaurants.
Before we proceed, please subscribe and don't forget to click the notification bell down below and leave your comments and suggestions.
A U.S. park ranger once got hit by lightning 7 times. That would be Roy Cleveland Sullivan, a park ranger at the Shenandoah National Park in Virginia, who between 1942 and 1977 was struck by lightning on 7 different occasions, earning him an entry in the Guinness Book of World Records and the nickname, Human Lightning Rod. He survived all of them and lived to the age of 71. Coke saved one town from the Great Depression. Well, sort of. As the country was reeling from the Great Depression, a local, trusted banker in the town of Quincy, Florida, urged anyone who would listen to invest in Coca-Cola stocks, then selling at $19 per share. Many followed his advice, and when the company's stock boomed as he'd promised, others followed. Soon, at least 67 inhabitants in a town of fewer than 7,000 had become Coca-Cola millionaires, making Quincy the richest U.S. town per capita. Did you know that the world's largest pyramid isn't in Egypt? The Great Pyramid of Cholula, located in Cholula, Puebla, Mexico, is the largest pyramid in the world and, with a base 4 times the size of the Great Pyramid of Giza, also happens to be the largest monument ever constructed. Part of the reason it's not better known is that it's partially buried under a mountain. Meanwhile, did you know that the Netherlands is so safe, it imports criminals to fill jails? The Netherlands has enjoyed a steady drop in crime since 2004, and has become so safe that it's closed down one jail after another, 23 prisons shut the doors since 2014. To help mitigate the job losses that this has created, the country has taken to importing prisoners from other countries, bringing 242 inmates from Norway in 2015.